Hello everyone, my name is M.W. Fleming, and welcome back to my world building series. This is the day after I recorded the last video I did. I just got home from work and I kind of couldn't wait to just jump back in. I don't think this will be going up on my channel on today or tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'll put this video up. I don't know if I'm going to do one video a week or whatever. But at work I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I wanted to do with this continent, and I've been thinking a lot. I don't know if I'm going to continue calling it Sudspare, and if I do, it will just be as in a general name, but I'm going to call it Gethunder. Gethunder is what I'm going to be calling it, or just maybe it's Sudspare Gethunder. I think that's what I'm going to leave it for right now, and I will explain that as we get into this, but in today's video, I am going to be putting in a few forests and other landmarks and naming the regions. And in case you were wondering, I ended up buying that screen recorder because I did like it, and I cannot remember what it was called. I think it's like Screenomatic or something like that. I'll put a link in the description because I actually do like it very much. But let's go ahead and just jump into this. So, forests, obviously we're not going to have a lot of trees in the desert area, the tundra area that we had last time. But I think we should have just a few, maybe not like that. Let's get rid of these. And maybe make our trees a little bit smaller. But just have like a few pocketed forests around the world. Make it look kind of nice, and in places that we could tell a story. Because as I said last time, when I make a world, I like to have a story behind the region, as I want to make a region for a story. So I do have a story for this sea, like I said I was going to, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I want there to be a reason that these forests exist story-wise. Otherwise, they're just there for no reason. And maybe just one small forest here. And you don't need a lot of forests because there will be a lot of trees in this world. I'm not saying that, just because there's no trees here, there's no, forests here. But these are like the big forests that are important to the world. Like there's probably, maybe a forest kingdom or something like that. Probably not, because I've been thinking about this world, like I said, and I have an idea for the people that live here. And we'll go ahead and put some pines down here in the frozen part. And this will be a very dense pine forest that borders this frozen part of the world. Like if you want to get to the southmost south, you have to pass through this really dense pine forest. I don't know who would go down here. I don't have any plans for that yet, but if I do want a story where they go there, they have to pass through that forest, and that's why I'm doing that. So, I think that's what I'm going to do with the forests. I really don't know what kind of stories I'm going to tell with these, but I need to figure it out, or otherwise there's no point to having the forests. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just start naming a few areas. If you didn't notice, I went back in and I edited the rivers a little bit just to make them look nicer, because Inkarnate's difficult with a pen, or not a pen, but a mouse. So, what I wanted to do was name my regions, and I'm going to go ahead and name this area End-Geth. And that's this little region here between these two rivers and this little inlet, this sea. Let's go ahead and make this smaller here. That's the name of this region. Kingdom, if you want to call it. End-Geth, in the language I'm not making a language for this world, but just I'm making up words as I go along for the people. End-Geth is the name of this kingdom. And let me explain a little bit about just this kingdom and the people that are going to live in this continent, because I'm just going to have like one main race that inhabits this continent, and other races will maybe come in from the outside world and explore, and they interact with our people, and that's how we learn about the outside world, but we never actually see it because nobody travels. So, the people that inhabit this world are called the Githek Gushal, or Githek Goshur, I'm not really sure yet, but Githek is definitely part of their name. I think, let me type it out, how did I have it in my head earlier? The Githek Gushur. I think that's how I have their name, is Githek Gushur. And there are different religions within the Githek Gushur people, as in the race, such as, one believes that they were expelled from the sea onto Engeth. That was the first realm, and they all pretty much believe that this is the first realm. Another one believes that the sky opened up and just expelled them there. Others think that they rolled down from the mountains and ended there. But they all pretty much believe that they were thrown into the world, or in their minds they were vomited into the world. So the Githek Gushur means the ones who rose from vomit. And Engeth means the realm of vomit. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I'm just kind of having fun with this world. I don't know if I'm going to do anything serious with this world, because, it's just for these videos, but if I fall in love with this world, like I might, maybe I'll do something with it. But, let me look at this. I had it written down. I wanted to give them a capital city, and I wanted to name it Dragal, maybe. And I don't know if I have a translation for that now, but I just think it sounds nice. And we'll go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. We'll make nations and regions like that font to 15, and cities and settlements 10. I think that's probably fine. And I'm going to have it just here on this little, I don't know if you want to even call that a peninsula, but it's this little precipice right here. Now, I can go ahead and I can put in an icon for it, but I'm not sure what kind of icon I want to use anyways. Normally what I do is I just do this little marker, because it's generic and whatever, but Inkarnate does have these little nice things that I could use, but they're just so big. Like, that's probably fine, but I don't know. So I'll put it at 15%, and I'll move it here, and just, you can't really tell what it is by looking at it like that. It is so small, and if I have it any bigger than that, you just can't tell what it is. So I think I'm just going to use the map markers, because we can make those bigger and you can tell what they are. You have an idea as like, oh, that's an important spot on the map. I'm just going to use those for right now. Not you, get out of here. Alright, so I think that's a good place for this to start. And then this is the tundra up here, so we want to make this, it's a region, maybe not necessarily a kingdom, but it is a region. And it's a cold, frosty region, and the Githek Gushur have a very guttural language, so I want it to be like really guttural, but I also want it to give off the vibe of being cold. So I'm thinking of like the I don't even know, like the what did I just do? I thought I was typing, but apparently not. The Burnalak, and we'll just say that is the Burnalak Coldlands. No, because that doesn't make sense. The Burnalak, Desert. We'll just call it a desert, because that's what it is. It's different from what other people might call a desert, but it's a desert. And And that might be a thing, is that people coming from the north who have, the typical sandy deserts might come here and they might not agree with what they call this a desert, but, I'm going to go with that for right now. So that's the Bernalak Desert. And this is the Geth Carl. I think we're going to use Carl as like C or Death, or Geth Carl. No, I don't like Carl. What can we use for like a C that's like... Because I want it to be like really guttural, so I don't want it to be like Osan or like almost like ocean, but what could we use? Like I said in the last video, I'm pretty much doing it on the fly. I'm doing it from scratch. The only thing that I've been thinking about are like the people, like the race, their customs and things like that. I haven't been thinking about the world itself. I wanted to do that in the video. So I want it to be the Geth. Roshar. Roshar, it's like almost like Ocean, but it's Roshar. I think that sounds pretty good. The Geth Roshar and C. Obviously, Geth Roshar means vomit sea, but we'll just say C down here, just so people have an idea. Because the people that are coming into this land, they're not going to know that Geth Roshar means vomit sea. They're going to think it's just a name, and so they're going to call it the Geth Roshar Sea. That's how, like, endonyms and exonyms happen. It's people hear a name, and then it gets not necessarily translated, but it goes through different accents. Sometimes it does get translated, and that's how we have names like France and Spain, when in the countries they call themselves like Francia and España. It's just translations and accents and different ways of pronouncing things. So I think that's what I'm going to do for right now. So like the Bernalak Desert might mean the cold desert, or something like that. The cold desert, I think that's what it means. And then people are just going to give it the desert name because they're describing it to other people. So I think that's a good idea. What we have here, we have the Friggic. I think Friggic just means frozen, which might be a little bit on the nose because it's almost exactly like frigid, but I like it. But what can we use a word for forest? What's like a really guttural word that reminds you of forest but isn't? Clad. It's like glade, but it becomes Khalade and becomes Kalad. I think that's what we're going to do. Forget Kalad. I think that's good. Yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to push to... Well, let's do that. That way it kind of highlights it a little bit. So forget Kalad. I think that's pretty good. Alright, and then this one here is the... I don't know yet. So I think I'm going to just name the ones that I think I have ideas for story things right now. I think that's how we're going to do it. Because I have no idea what I'm going to do with those forests yet. But then we'll go ahead and name these mountains here. These are the Hoopar, Crooks. And you might not be able to tell by reading it, but I'm giving it as in the northern mountains, but it's like upper rocks. It's where I'm getting the name from, upper rocks. But I'm going to say it means the northern mountains. Like Hoopar means northern or north, and Crooks means mountains. I think that's a good name. Now, obviously, those aren't the Northern Mountains, but to the people who began living in Engeth, they were the Northern Mountains until they started to expand further. So what we'll do is we'll call these the Nunnak-Hooparooks, I think. And what that is the actually Northern Mountains. Nunnak might mean something like the true Northern Mountains, or something like that. So that's the Nunnak-Hooparooks versus the Hooparooks of the South, the Northern Mountains of the South. I think that's pretty cool. And then these are the Hooks, the Cold Mountains, and then the ones that extend up this way are the I don't know. We'll come back to those as well. So these are also the Nunnak-Hooparooks. They just extend down here. So I can move these a little bit further this way. And these, I can just keep that there. Yeah. I would really like to give those mountains names, but I don't know what to call them. I don't know what kind of story we could have with them. Except maybe there's like a small kingdom in between this little valley here. And on one side is an enemy. No. Because, like I said, I want to give these places names that are... I want these places to exist for a reason. Okay. So I'm going to name them the Rao. No. I want to name them the Noisy Mountains, because there's a lot of things that happen on the mountains that cause noise for the people that live down below. They echo off of the mountains. What would be like noisy? What would be like loud? Crash Uruks. And I might put like mountains, like the name mountains after these. I might not. I don't know yet. And then I want to go ahead and give names to the oceans, maybe out here. So we'll have the Hoopar Osharo. And Osharo is like ocean, but it's the bigger ocean, so it's not like a small sea, it's like, the bigger thing. So Hoopar Osharo, and then this one is the Loire Osharo, which is the southern sea, like lower ocean. I'm just having fun with the names right now. I'm sorry if they sound like dumb or whatever, but I'm just having fun with them. And then this one is the West Sea. So it's, I'm going to say, said we Osharo. Said West Osharo. Like, that's a pretty obscure joke. I don't know if many people will get that joke, but I don't know. I like it. I think those are the names that I'm going to go with right now. Obviously, there's a lot of naming that I need to go and do, especially on this large part of land here. This could be entire kingdom. This could be multiple kingdoms. I don't even know. But right now, the main part that I have named is Endgeth, which is the major kingdom of the world. It might be like a neutral kingdom, which all the other people in the world, or of the race, respect. Maybe everybody is trying to claim that land because it is their ancestral homeland. I don't know yet, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Thank you for watching, and I will be back with another video very soon.